Welcome to this video where a prototype noob tries out driving around Sebring in the LMP2 car. I bought this because the combo looked fun. I already had the track, didn't have the car. Yeah, never really driven prototypes before, so I've done a few races before this one. This was the last one I did today. It was good fun. Thought it was worth a video. So this is, we're going to start with lap 1. This is us forming up behind the safety car and then going for it as the lights go green. And I qualified in P4, and that's why as we approach turn 1, which is a bit tricky, especially on cold tyres. We seem to be holding our own so far. This is good. Quite a technical circuit Sebring. But so the plan here really for the whole race is to try and stay in the top 5. I qualified quite well, and it was a reasonably strong race, strong qualifying session for everyone else. So at this point, I've got the guy coming around my outside, so I just try and defend the inside line. Not very well. I kind of weave a bit under braking here and give him a bit of a tap, which was not great, but he survived that. We can see here the car that was in P2 pulls off to the left. Looks like he had some technical issue as he quit the race, so he retired. So at this point we're up to P3. P3 was then P2, had a bad exit out of the hairpin. We managed to get past, so here we are up into P2, amazingly, on lap 1. Sort of thing doesn't happen to me very often, so really chuffed with that. So now I'm kind of thinking, okay, well, I don't know if I've got the pace to stay here, but the main aim now is to just try and stay in P2, defend off those behind me. You can already see the guy in first has absolutely disappeared. He's gone. His qualifying time was about a second and a half faster than anyone else. And of course, while we're all battling back down here, he has absolutely foxtrot Oscared into the distance. I might catch a glimpse of him shortly. There he is, he's gone. So here we are coming up to the last corner, sunset, on the end of lap 1. And you can see that third place car is keeping me honest already, but we're starting to gap the rest of the pack just a little bit. So through bumpy sunset, and that was the end of lap 1. Pretty happy with that, it was a good lap. What we'll do now is we'll skip forward a few laps and we'll catch up with where we are later on. So here we are later on in the race, and I get a terrible run through here and into Le Mans corner. This is about 5 laps later. I actually pulled a bit of a gap on P3, but that was terrible, and he's just immediately got a really good exit as well. He's straight past. So at this point, I'm thinking, well, I can't out-drag him down here, so I just want to try and stay as close to him as I can, and hopefully try and retake second position. Our pace was reasonably similar. We kind of yo-yoed lap by lap as to who had the quickest laps between us. So I thought, right, I've really got to focus on trying to stay on his bumper and try and get that P2 back. But again, you know, third position was okay. I was kind of okay with it. But worst comes to worst, I won't do anything risky. I'll just, it's a podium. I'll stay where I am. So we'll now go on board for what was my fastest lap of the race. This is again a couple of laps later on. He's actually got away from me a bit. I had a couple of scruffy laps. But this was the fastest lap I did of the race. It was actually the fastest lap of this car combo I've ever done. It was into the 49s for the first time. So through the first corner, very bumpy, trying to pick up the throttle early. Down here into second gear, late apex, missed it by about a foot. Again, another late apex coming up here. Again, missed it by about a foot. So there's definitely improvement to be had. But this is quite late on in the race, and the tyres are starting to feel pretty second hand. Coming up now is the hairpin. This is like the hardest corner, because with a downforce car, you'll see here, I kind of get it just about as good as I've ever done it. But in a downforce car, you can really stand on the brakes early on, but as the downforce drops off, as the speed comes off, you have to lift off the brake, and that gives you real issues with locking up towards the end of the braking phase. It's been quite a hard thing to learn. So down into second gear for this one. Did get the apex, don't want to run too wide, so you can kind of straight line this section through here. Next up, one of my favourite corners, I think. Not very good at it, but I love it. Down at the second, pick the apex, and then run out a bit wide. I've gone about too wide here, a bit of gravel, but yeah, love that corner. Then this last section, I find really tricky to get the braking zones right and to carry enough speed. I'm going down into third through here, but I've watched a few pros on board, and they are way faster through here. And I just, this last corner, the one I'm just pretty terrible at, that was probably my best effort. Hence, probably, why this was my fastest lap. So then we head up to the infamous bumpy Sunset corner, which is a very light trail in third, down into third, just trailing the brake just to keep the front weight over the front, so you've got turning over the bumps, and then get on the throttle as early as possible, drive it right out to the wall. Again, I could have gone faster there, so I think there's a low 49s possible if I put the best lap together. So now we're skipping forward to the very last lap, and it's second, then me, and then fourth place. So second, third, and fourth. We're starting the last lap, and we're all bunched together. I've done a good job of catching up with second place, and I'd kind of pulled fourth place along with me. So this is how we ended up, and at this point I'm kind of thinking, right, this is a good position to finish. Let's just eyes down, don't let the guy behind past, and focus on the guy in front and just stay with him. And if we finish in this order, I'll be dead happy. So we're through like the sort of first sector of the lap. It's all going well, pretty happy. Coming up to the infamous hairpin, and I'm thinking, okay, this is important to get this right so I don't get past. Really happy with how I managed the hairpin in that particular instance. Guy in second fluffed it totally. So I'm like, okay, this is on, but he does a really good job of covering the inside line for this corner up here, so I have to go around the outside, and this is where it all goes a bit Pete Tong. He goes deep. I managed to actually just about make the apex get down the inside, but P4 snuck into the mix, which suddenly caused me to back off because I'm not sure what's happening, and we end up in this where I've now dropped down into essentially the third, fourth battle, side by side with car number 6 through here. I gave him too much space through there. I should have pushed him out a bit further wide, because then I probably would have sealed third. But as it is, I've now ended up in fourth, and now we're into the last few corners. And well, at this point, I've kind of realised that there was no catching him. There's too little distance to go. I then fluffed up Le Mans and got on the grass, so that kind of nerfed my speed down the straight in towards Sunset. So unless one of them binned it at going through Sunset over the bumps, then it was guaranteed. And there we go. And that's a really exhilarating LMP2 race. Had a great time. I've had some really terrible races in this series over the weekend, so it's quite nice to have a really good fun one, and I thought worthy of making a video. So if you enjoyed the video, please do like, comment and subscribe and all that kind of YouTube waffle, and I will no doubt see you on a live stream or some kind of sim racing YouTube adventure later on. Thanks for watching.